Every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut. The clock that's broken is right. 2 times a day, every once in a while, the MDs get it right. When they get it right, it's always about the relationship between medical nutrition, just good old-fashioned nutrition, and the body's health. A study that was published on January 22nd in the medical journal Neurology shows that the higher amounts of omega-3 fatty acids that you consume, the bigger your brain gets. I quote, "These results are consistent with the idea that higher omega-3 levels may slow the loss of brain volume that occurs as we age." Senior author William Harris, Ph.D., from the University of South Dakota, tells Medscape Medical News, I'm pulling this off of medscape.com, to examine the association between the amount of omega-3 fatty acids in the body and brain volume. Dr. Potala, Dr. Harris, and colleagues used data from the Women's Health Initiative memory study, magnetic resonance imaging, that evaluated the effects of hormone therapy in postmenopausal women in which blood samples had been frozen and brain MRI scans were recorded. The blood samples were taken at the start of the study, and MRI scans were performed 8 years later. While this is not necessarily a perfect design, that's what was available, Dr. Harris noted. They used the red blood cell omega-3 index as a measure of omega-3 status. This index is the percentage of omega-3 fatty acids of the total fatty acids in the red blood cell membranes. Results showed that overall brain size was significantly smaller in the women in the lowest quartile of the omega-3 index compared with those in the highest quartile. And specifically the hippocampus, which is the area of the brain related to cognitive function, that's how well you're able to think, was also significantly smaller in the lowest versus the highest quartile of the omega-3 index. This was after controlling for age, lipid levels, glucose, blood pressure, education, and hormone therapy. How about that? So they've got actual results now, a pretty comprehensive study that showed that the brain gets bigger if you give it more omega-3 essential fatty acids. But wait a minute, I wasn't aware that omega-3 could cross the blood-brain barrier. What's up with that? I guess we're going to have to rethink that. Our understanding of the blood-brain barrier is that it does not exist, that it's something that the MDs made up, that once upon a time, a long time ago, one medical doctor said, look, there's a blood-brain barrier, and then everybody accepted it as de facto, when in point of fact, we don't believe there's any such thing. It's harder for some molecules, it's harder for some nutrients, it's harder for some drugs to get into the brain, but there is no barrier that prevents nutrients from circulating in the brain. If there were, then this study would be a wash, right? I mean, 75% of the brain is made from cholesterol. So if cholesterol can't get into the blood, into the brain through the blood-brain barrier, where does the brain get its cholesterol from? Does the brain make cholesterol all by itself? I don't think so. Remember, a blind squirrel every once in a while gets a nut, and a clock that's broken is correct twice a day. Every once in a while, the MDs get it correct. But actually, in this case, it wasn't MDs, it was PhDs. It was PhDs who did this study. And that's interesting to me from an academic point of view, because remember, if you're working as an MD for a research facility 99.9999999% of the time, and I just made that number up, and I'm going to bet you 25 cents it's very close, the research is paid for the drug companies. Now, the drug companies are not going to subsidize research that shows that vitamins are more effective than drugs. The drug companies are not going to subsidize research on anything other than drugs, right? Oh, and by the way, omega-3 essential fatty acids are available as a prescriptive item. You can get prescription strength omega-3 essential fatty acids at about 10 times the cost of what you can get over the counter. This is what happens when you let an industry become monopolized and manipulated by a segment of society and medicine all around the world. This is not just cogent to North America. This is not just significant to the United States. All around the world, the predominant medicine of the world is MD-directed, allopathic, reductionistic, pharmaceutical centrist medicine. And allopathic, MD-directed, reductionistic, pharmaceutical centrist medicine doesn't work, is inconsistent with the human body. The philosophy of healing, actually the philosophy of medicine, because there is no philosophy of healing. The philosophy of disease management that your MD is trained in is inconsistent with the facts of the human body. The MDs, having no conceptual understanding nor awareness that the human body has a built-in God-given intelligence, have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. And they believe that once you're sick, you're screwed, and your only option is to march in with synthetic man-made drugs, which overpower the innate workings of the human body, orchestrating a hostile takeover of the metabolism of the human body. Because the MD actually is trained to believe that once you're sick, you're screwed. And the body's going to break just because the body breaks and things break, and that's just life. It's the second law of thermodynamics, stupid. Everything decays. So it's only a matter of time until the heart goes, the blood pressure goes, the knees go, the joints go, the mind goes, the bladder goes, the kidney goes, the gallbladder goes, the skin goes. Something's got to go. So rather than focus on helping the body to fix itself, because the MDs are trained that that's an impossibility, that is a fiction, their therapeutics are solely intended to manage the situation. And they do that not with natural ingredients, because you can't patent those. Yeah, that's why they use synthetic drugs. For instance, Premarin, which was the breakthrough hormone replacement therapy rolled out in the 70s. Premarin was supposed to be the cure-all for everything having to do with hormonal imbalances. MDs actually thought that menopause was a disease. Menopause is not a disease. Menopause is a time of life. Puberty is not a disease. Puberty is a time of life. The childbearing years are not a disease. The childbearing years are a time of life. But in the 70s, MDs, mostly men, understood that once their wives got into menopause, they didn't know who they were married to anymore, and mood swings and hot flushes and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, something's got to be done, boys. So rather than give therapeutics, give dietary change, give nutritional supplements, and some herbs, which support and promote natural, normal, healthy hormone levels at any age, the MDs designed a hostile takeover of the hormones of the human body. So they could have delivered to women normal human estradiol, estrone, estriol, normal human progesterone, normal human testosterone. They could have done that. You can synthesize human hormones in the lab, right? I mean, you can make anything in a lab if you're smart enough. You could take a cylinder of hydrogen and a cylinder of oxygen, and you could mix them together under the right circumstances and make water, right? Synthetically made, but it's H2O. Well, you can synthetically create the human estrogens, human progesterone, human testosterone. You can do whatever you want in the lab. But instead of doing that, the MDs said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm smarter than God. I'm going to create a brand new hormone that's never existed before on the planet. Well, why on earth would they need to do that? Well, they would need to do that because you cannot patent a naturally occurring substance. You can't go to Washington, D.C. and patent oxygen or orange juice or buttercups. So why on earth would anybody do $60 million of research, which is about what's required by the FDA to get a drug approved, on buttercups, when after they proved that buttercups had a positive physiological effect for, whatever, anybody could make it? Well, guess what? They wouldn't do that, and that's why they don't do that, and that's why instead of synthesizing normal bioidentical hormones, they came up with a brand new hormone that's never existed before anywhere in the universe. They called it Premarin because they mixed 2 parts horse hormone with 1 part human hormone. That's right, equilin and equilase are the horse hormones that are in Premarin, which was the largest selling hormone in the world for about 15 years. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 2 parts horse hormone and 1 part human hormone. That's, by the way, where the drug got its name. Premarin, the horse hormones were extracted from the urine of pregnant mares. Pregnant mares, Premarin. Pregnant mares, Premarin. Yeah, how about that? 2 parts horse hormone and 1 part human hormone, and I'm the quack. You've got to be kidding me. Well, the pharmaceutical propaganda machine is so good. Big Pharma's propaganda machine is so good that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of American women were duped into taking Premarin, 2 parts horse hormone and 1 part human hormone for a non-medical disease. Menopause is not a disease. Menopause is not a disease, but women were duped into taking this because it was supposed to be the breakthrough, be-all, end-all, make you look 16 again. Oh, my God, isn't that great? Only 3 problems with Premarin. Actually, there were about 33 problems with Premarin, but 3 of the biggest were breast cancer, uterine cancer, and inflammation of the veins in the legs called thrombophlebitis. Hundreds of thousands of women got cancer as a direct result of Premarin, which was prescribed for them for a non-medical condition, menopause, by the MD. And nobody went to jail. Now, this news broke in the 80s, and because women in the United States are educated and smart, after they saw I forget who it was that published the breaking news that, there was a very, very high incidence of breast cancer and uterine cancer with Premarin, women in the United States stopped taking it of their own volition, and Premarin sales in the U.S. collapsed. But not overseas. Not in third world countries. Premarin is still rolled out in massive amounts to third world unsuspecting women. It's supposed to be a breakthrough, right? 2 parts horse hormone, 1 part human hormone. This is the type of ass-backwards, juvenile, bad, ineffective, dangerous therapeutics brought to the marketplace by your MD, which is why the name of this show is Fire Your MD. When? Now. Fire Your MD now. Call me instead, and let's get our health back together. Stick around. Going to Illinois when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you. February 3rd, Monday, February 3rd, 2014. Welcome aboard to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Please visit the website of the same name, fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. Become a Dr. Glidden insider and gain immediate access to 100-plus hours of live health webinars, archived health webinars, and 5 hours of live worldwide webinars a week. How about that? We just had a webinar this morning. There were about 50 people on it from all over the world. We had people from Cyprus, people from London, people from Australia, I think, all over Canada, all over the United States. Word is spreading about what we do, and you gotta love what we do because it generates results. Now, I want to read you something from the Illinois Department of Medicine because I'm a resident of Illinois. This radio station is broadcast out of Minnesota, but here's an actual law on the books in Illinois. If any person does any of the following and does not possess a valid license issued under this act, that person shall be sentenced as provided in Section 59. So if someone holds himself or herself out to the public as being engaged in the diagnosis or treatment of physical or mental ailments or conditions, including but not limited to deformities, diseases, disorders, or injuries of human beings. 2, if such person suggests, recommends, or prescribes any form of treatment for the palliation, relief, or cure of any physical or mental ailment or condition of any person with the intention of receiving either directly or indirectly any fee, gift, or compensation, whatever. 3, diagnosis or attempts to diagnose, operates upon, professes to heal, prescribes for, or otherwise treats any ailment or condition or supposed ailment or condition of another, maintains an office for examination or treatment of persons afflicted or alleged or supposed to be afflicted by any ailment or condition, manipulates or adjusts osseous or articular structures, or attaches the title doctor, physician, surgeon, MD, DO, or DC, or any other word or abbreviation to his or her name indicating that he or she is engaged in the treatment of human ailments or conditions as a business, then they shall be fined under this act. So, I wanted to preamble this because we're going to talk to Tammy in Illinois. And I am been advised by my legal team that it is no longer appropriate for me to talk to people about health issues in any way whatsoever if they are residents of the state of Illinois. Tammy, are you with me?
I am. Thank you.
Welcome aboard. So, Tammy, are you a resident of the great state of Illinois?
I am.
Regretfully, I can't help you, and I'd love to be able to help you. So what I'm going to recommend is you talk to somebody in another state and have them call me up. And this is what we're going to have to do now, because my presence on the radio and my presence on the Internet is getting larger and larger and larger.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't want to get strung up hoist by my petards because of some ridiculous regulation that really shouldn't be there at all. I appreciate your patience, Tammy. I appreciate your trust. But we're going to have to toe this line a little bit harder from now on. So
sure.
Cross the state lines, become a resident of another state, call somebody in another state and call me back, and I will look forward to that. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? You know, the great state of Illinois did sue me for $5,000 for using the word doctor on my website. Use the word doctor on my website. I had a private health consultation business here years ago. The operative word had, no longer have that, because according to the great state of Illinois, even though I graduated from a fully accredited medical school, and how does a medical school become accredited? Well, the United States Department of Education accredits schools, whether they're medical schools or business schools or schools, undergraduate, graduate, doesn't matter. There's a rigorous accreditation process that has to happen. The same people that accredited Harvard University and Tufts Medical School accredited the medical school that I went to. I was eligible for federal student loans to attend the medical school that I attended. I graduated with a doctoral degree in 1991, and I've been licensed to practice medicine since 1992. But the great state of Illinois believes that just by virtue of my crossing a few state lines that I am not competent to practice medicine in the great state of Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a free medical market. We do not have a free medical market, and we haven't since the early 1900s. Fire your medical doctor now, and call us, just not from the state of Illinois. Dr. Glidden, going to Frank after we're back. Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? So, as a licensed naturopathic physician in the great state of Washington, I can deliver babies, perform minor surgery, order any diagnostic tests I want, work in hospitals, legally refer to myself in the public forum as a physician, and it's all covered by insurance. Now, just by crossing a couple of state lines, I'm not allowed to do any of that at all. Zero in the great state of Illinois. Why is that? Well, because the American Medical Association's headquarters is downtown Chicago, and the American Medical Association believes that they are king of the hill. The American Medical Association was found guilty in a federal court in the mid-'80s of promoting a 10-year slander campaign against the chiropractors. They had their physicians tell people that chiropractors were quacks, had substandard training, were dangerous, and should be avoided, and it was all nonsense. It was lies. And it was proven in a federal court that they did this, and they were found guilty. The American Medical Association. Wilkes versus the AMA. Look it up. Wilkes, W-I-L-K-E-S versus the AMA. And nobody went to jail. The American Medical Association was fined, I think, $25 million, which is a drop in the bucket to them, for 10 years of slander, 10 years of throwing every chiropractor in the United States underneath the bus, damaging every chiropractor in the United States. Nothing happens because they've cooked the books, they run the show, they own everything. Well, the naturopaths are taking back the night, slowly but surely, one state at a time. I predict Illinois will in fact be the last state to be licensed and regulated, to license and regulate naturopathic medicine, because it is the home, the headquarters of the evil empire, and I am choosing my words carefully. Let's go see what Frank is up to. Hey, Frank, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come in, Frank.
Yeah, Dr. Peter. Good evening.
Frank, I can hardly hear you, man. You're going to have to change your phone or something.
Yeah, I mean, is now okay?
That's a little bit better, Frank. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Luxembourg.
Luxembourg, Germany?
Yeah, near Germany, yeah.
Well, Luxembourg, yeah, near Germany. Well, thanks. Welcome aboard, Frank. It's a pleasure to have you. You are our first caller from Luxembourg. Thank you so much. How can I help?
Yeah, I've been eating by diabetes for the past 25 years, and now I got you.
Yeah.
The medicine is working. The medicine I bought some of your medicine. I bought 2 packs. Selenium, SFX, and I have Gottfried in Germany who introduced me to it.
Yeah.
And the medicine is working perfect. My only problem is I feel the medicine's working, but my sugar, I started about a week ago, but my sugar level stays between 200 and 300. That's my only problem now.
Well, how long have you been doing our program?
A week now.
Oh, okay. Well, look, man, you just need to give it time. And this is a really good thing to talk about, because this is a comprehensive, holistic medical solution, right? This is not a type 2 diabetes treatment. This is a let's support and promote the whole body in its ability to function optimally, including let's support and promote the body's ability to have healthy levels of blood sugar. So when anybody starts this program, one of the first things that they feel is, well, they feel better. Their quality of life is better. It's an indescribable thing. Their mood is better. Their energy is better. It's just things are better. You just feel better because it's the first time, really, Frank, in your life that your body has had all of the nutrition that it needs, and that just makes you feel different in a positive way. Now, the only
I feel really
thing,
good. I feel really good.
That's great. And once we have that feeling, the rest is just a function of time, right? You can't plant a tomato seed on Monday and expect to be eating a tomato on Friday, right? You have to give the plant time to grow. You just have to give nature its own time. But I have to tell you, Frank, having a positive, noticeable experience in 7 days bodes very well for you in the future. You just need to maintain the discipline, man. It might take 8 weeks. It might take 10 weeks. It might take 12 weeks for your sugars to start to budge. I don't know. Just maintain the discipline. Measure your blood sugars. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. And it's only a matter of time until all of this rolls around for you. I'm very, very happy you found us. Very, very happy you. How did Gottfried contact you? Are you old friends, or how did that happen?
Oh, it's a triangle. A friend of mine in London, also a diabetic, got into contact with Godfrey, and Godfrey showed him the medicine, and he took it. And I was here one day, and he called me, Frank, my diabetes is gone. I said, I was joking.
You got to love it, Frank. I mean, it's really great. So look, just measure your blood sugars every day like the doctors told you to, and with time, the numbers will start to budge, and then they'll start to budge, and then they'll budge more. So you just have to give the program more time. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. Good. Hey, Frank, what time is it in Luxembourg, by the way?
It is 20 to 11.
20 to 11. You stayed up all night long just to talk to me. You get the star today, Frank. You get the prize, man.
I want to make one confession. My eye, one of my eyes, the right eye, it was nearly blurred. Since I took this medicine, boy, it's like it's budging out something's budging out from my eye. I'm seeing clearly, man.
I can see clearly now. Well, I got to tell you, Frank, you're going to start to see a whole lot more clearly moving down the road here, man. I am I'm very excited for you, Frank.
I've been eating natrium and bread for the past 20 years, and now I've stopped everything.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
well,
thank you very much.
Maintain the discipline, Frank. Call us back anytime with a report. You, my friend, are welcome very much. That's how we do it, folks. You think human suffering is relegated to the borders of the United States, Canada, South America, Brazil, Central America, Mexico, Luxembourg, Germany, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, China, Japan, Indonesia? No. It's a worldwide phenomenon. Why? Because nobody knows what to do to support and promote the structure and function of the body. Everybody thinks the only thing they need to do to be healthy is be born into a family with good genes and just, don't eat too much, don't drink too much, and don't have too much sugar, and eat a lot of olive oil. Got to follow the Mediterranean diet. And everybody's wrong. This is why there's so much suffering, because there's so much misinformation. Why? Because the MDs are not trained in medical nutrition. The MDs are not trained in how to help your body fix itself. They don't think it's possible. The only thing that they're trained in is how to manage your illness. So you go to see the MD and they manage your illness and they manage your illness and they manage your illness, and then you go from bad to worse. And then all of a sudden, a buddy or a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend has a remarkable experience with medical nutrition, and that spreads like wildfire, and that's exactly how we're going to change the world. Luxembourg. God, I love my job. Let's go to Anthony in Bama, see what's happened. Hey, Anthony, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Doc, how you doing today?
Pretty good. What's going on with the Crimson Tide, man?
I don't know. I don't follow the sports anymore. That was back in my younger days. I'm all about making my own money now.
All right. I'm all about helping you make your own money now. Let's go.
Amen. I got a gentleman that got very excited hearing about you and Dr. Wallace and longevity. He couldn't believe his ears. I was talking to him up until midnight, Saturday night. And he does construction, got his own company, and he's got problems with his knees, heartburn, stomach pain, diverticulitis, and back pain.
All right. Well, the knee pain, the heartburn, the back pain are all arms of the same octopus. Those are all calcium and mineral deficiencies. They're all calcium and mineral deficiencies, right? So there's a big-time deficiency syndrome going on in this guy's body, and it's starting to show up in different places now, right? So now the diverticulitis and the stomach pain, the most common cause of those two things happening in the same body, in the same time frame, is consistent consumption of the 10 bad foods, right? And it's only a matter of time until those chickens come home to roost. I mean, you can only put diesel fuel in an unleaded engine so long before the engine starts to crap out and cylinders start to explode and, things get all gummed up and it's just not right. So, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. If it looks like a duck, flies like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So the first thing to do here is have this guy clean up his diet, eliminate the 10 bad foods. That's mandatory because of the diverticulitis and because of the chronic stomach stuff going on. If he does not do that, he should not expect very much positive change from the program. That's mandatory. This is non-negotiable. He has to stop eating the 10 bad foods, period. Number one. Number two, a healthy digestion pack plus glucogel, plus selenium, the healthy digestion pack, plus glucogel, plus selenium, and one extra bottle of white liquid calcium is a very good place for him to start. The healthy digestion pack, selenium and glucogel, appropriate for body weight, and one extra bottle of the white liquid calcium a month is a really good place for him to start. My heart goes out to guys in construction because in my misspent youth, I don't know, probably 7 years of my life I was working construction. I worked on commercial fishing boats. I did heavy carpentry, renovation of old houses, drywall, painting, finished carpentry, you name it, man. I never put a roof on. I never did a roof on, and I never did any masonry. But I got to tell you, man, working with your body is hard. I mean, it was hard in my 20s. I can't imagine what it's like in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s. I mean, my heart goes out to these guys. Most of the guys that I was working with back in the day, they lived on Tylenol. I mean, they couldn't make it through without Tylenol. It's bad. So this is a good thing that you're doing, Anthony. This is a good thing that you're doing. And I got to tell you something. The construction community is... It's a good community to get your foot into because these people are all about results. They don't care. Anything that they can do that's not going to destroy their liver, that can make them be able to bend over without knee pain and just do their job. I mean, they're going to be all in, man. So, but for this guy specifically, he needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods. Take the healthy digestion pack, glucogel, selenium. Life is good, man. You should have him call us back every 3 weeks. He's going to love the way that he feels.
Will do, Doc. I've got 2 more questions.
All right, you hang on, brother. We're up against a hard break. I'll pick it up when we come back. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and guess what? This is Fire Your MD Now. Listening to the podcast, couldn't join us live. Thanks for listening. 855-347-3696. That's the number to call for information. 855-347-3696 if you are a podcaster. Let's go back to Anthony in Bama and see what else is up. Hey, Anthony, you're back.
Hey, Doc. I forgot to tell you that he also mentioned hemorrhoids, and then his mom has glaucoma. She must be an older lady, and they're up in age, and sometimes she can't see, he says.
Well, hemorrhoids, from our point of view, one of the main causative factors of hemorrhoids is the deficiency in the trace mineral copper. Not enough copper causes. There's a molecule in your body called elastin, and it does exactly what you think it does. It keeps things firm and elastic. And when your body loses copper, one of the first things to happen is it loses its ability to make elastin, so tissue starts to sag, right? So you get saggy face, saggy breasts, saggy butt, saggy gut. Hemorrhoids start to pop out. You also get spider veins and varicose veins, and then the final stage of all of this copper deficiency stuff is aneurysms of blood vessels, which is a big bad voodoo daddy. That's what killed Albert Einstein. He was a walking, talking textbook of copper deficiencies. Now, copper is interesting because, remember, we don't do fractionated nutrition. We don't just give boatloads of copper in this case, right? We want to give a comprehensive, well-rounded, holistic program that supports the body's ability to fix itself. If we just gave copper all by itself, the body would waste selenium. You can actually generate a selenium deficiency by giving too much copper. You can generate a copper deficiency by giving too much vitamin C. Linus Pauling also was a textbook case of copper deficiencies because of the massive amounts of vitamin C that he took. This is why it's important not to listen to an MD when we're trying medical nutrition. So, a comprehensive program is the recommendation here, and leave it to Dr. Wallach because he's the man. Dr. Wallach's selenium supplement has the requisite amount of copper in it so that you don't end up generating a selenium deficiency by doing too much copper. So the recommendation is just normal healthy start pack and copper sufficient to the cause. The recommendation, 1 bottle per 50 pounds per month, not to exceed more than 4 bottles a month. And glaucoma, we believe, is caused by free radical damage to the little tiny blood vessels and circulatory vessels in and around the eye. I did a really good webinar, I think, on this. It's called Eye Health, I believe, Seeing is Believing or something like that. It's in the archives. You should check it out. But long story short, when we are attempting to support and promote the structure and function of the eye, the recommendation is the anti-aging healthy start pack and selenium appropriate for body weight, with 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules per 200 pounds of body weight per month. And these people must stop all 10 bad foods, with an emphasis here on fried food and oil. Because from our point of view, fried food and oil in a bottle are big contributors to free radical oxidative damage. So now, if there's little extra money left over, then they can do Triple Treat Chocolate or Vision FX. Triple Treat Chocolate, Vision FX, or the brand new product that Youngevity has, Immortalium, because it's loaded with antioxidants. And the recommendation here is 20 to 50,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. A minimum of 20,000. You can go all the way up to 200,000 if you want of antioxidants a day. But, Anthony, check my webinar out, man. It's in the archives. You're an insider. Check it out. And there's going to be a lot more kind of comprehensive information there. But basically what we're doing is supporting the structure and function of the circulatory vessels in and around the eye. Because from our point of view, when someone develops glaucoma, which is increased pressure inside the eye, it's because the pipes draining the eye are clogged. The pipes draining the eyes are clogged, so the pressure builds up in the eye, and so we just got to try to help the body to get on the other side of that, and we do that by eliminating the stuff that's causing the clog, which is oil and fried food, and then giving the body support so that it can attempt to optimize its structure and function. Anthony, you are the last best hope your friends, family, and church members have to live long, healthy, and wealthy lives. You're doing a fantastic job in Alabama. Keep up the good work. Yeah, it's my pleasure, man. We're all in this together. Hour 2 coming up in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Call everyone in your life and have them call the show and tune in. I'm Dr. Glidden, back after these words.